Hi everyone, today we're looking at the Edelrid Belay and Repel device. So we're going to go through the specifications quickly. We have a high tensile strength wire here, coated in a plastic sheath. We have the ergonomically moulded thumb bracket, which you can use for tilting the device when it's locked, and I'll show you that in a moment. Stainless steel construction here, dedicated eye for belaying off the anchor, and another dedicated hole here for putting a locking carabiner or a piece of accessory cord to further tilt the device when it's in this mode to release the auto block function, much like the Petzl Reverso or ATC guide. The Mega Jul can take ropes from 7.8 to 10.5. So I'm going to demonstrate the belay characteristics quickly. So I'm going to put a bight of rope in the right side because I'm right-handed. Locking carabiner into my belay loop. And here we have the basic setup. So let's assume that I'm belaying a top roper. All we're doing is pulling in the rope, just as you normally would. Obviously, brake hand down here. And if the rope is weighted for whatever reason, bang, the Mega Jul locks. As you can see there, it's pinching, and it is absolutely impossible for that rope to escape. So let's say that the climber wants to climb on now, he's got his act together, we simply keep the brake end of the rope in our hands and simply tilt the bracket upwards like that, and as you can see the rope now releases and it's fairly smooth. Now, and you can also use this, this method to pay out slack extremely quickly. So there we go. So let's get back to regular belaying there. So that's basically the functionality of the Mega Jul. This is its assisted locking function, and this is why it's getting a lot of attention. So there are a few problems. So let's assume that the rope is weighted again. So there we go, it's locked up, which it does fairly predictably. Let's say that the climber wants to come down now. So you've got an 80 kilogram climber. One of the problems is that when you release this bracket, now if the rope is weighted, it's actually, takes a considerable amount of force and effort to tilt this bracket upwards and keep it in that sweet spot where you can lower the climber smoothly. So it, and you'll definitely feel your bicep and your shoulder engaging as you're sort of straining to keep it in that position so that the climber doesn't, completely fall out of control, but also keep the device from locking up again. And the problem is further compounded by the fact that if you can see the lip here where the rope runs over, it's actually a very thin, fairly minimal piece of metal that's, that you're using to create that friction which the rope is running over. And I mean, if you compare that lip to, say, a regular ATC or high friction ATC, for example, pretty much any other belay device actually, you'll see that this, this piece of metal here is actually so minimal. And what tends to happen with the Mega Jul is when you're lowering the climber, you either have to lower them extremely slowly, but then at least you can lower them smoothly, or if you want to do it faster, what tends to happen is, they get kind of a jerky lower, where it goes fast, then the rope catches, it goes fast, then the rope catches, and, it's just a bit of a chore, I suppose. It's very difficult to ensure that consistent speed. As you might be used to if you're, using a regular ATC. So, that's a problem for me. I still need a little bit more practice to kind of get that tension correct when I'm raising up the bracket. But, it's not a huge deal. It just takes a bit of practice, I find. So, there we go. There is the Mega Jul in all its glory. Even though it does have problems, we're still going to give it a thumbs up. I mean, it does do everything that you'd want a belay and repel device to do. So it is basically an all-in-one device. So, if you're in the market for a new device, check out the Mega Jul, and hope you find this review helpful.